You don't think there's an opportunity to land a big punch on Floyd?
Let me tell you something about Floyd. This is what I don't like about him either. No matter whatever we say about him, and it could be true, but he's in that gym.
And you know, a lot of times when he says certain things on social media, I'll say, you know, he's to me, he's still a kid.
I mean, y'all.
No, it was a
downfall.
It wasn't a downfall of my career. I mean, my our relationship, because it was more things that he was doing. Like,
he scheduled a fight, I think.
Mike Tyson destroys Floyd Mayweather in a new interview and strongly defends Gervonta Davis. He says Gervonta is an incredible fighter with real power and already a legend in his own right. Tyson adds that if Davis keeps fighting like this, he will become a true legend like him. He praises Gervonta's style and determination and subtly shades Mayweather by implying Davis doesn't need him to rise to greatness.
What do you think about people comparing Tank Davis to you? I mean, what do you think about that?
Tank is a great fighter.
You think he's a great fighter? What do you think about them comparing him to you? I mean, you're a legend, my friend.
Well, he'll be one too if he keeps fighting. I think Gervonta Davis is probably the greatest fighter around now, but he's got a tough fight coming up. You know, he's the top dog. There's no doubt about it. He showed that. But Barrios, he's a pretty good fighter. Last time I saw him fight, he was pretty durable.
During a candid conversation with Stephen A. Smith, Mike Tyson didn't hold back. He labeled Floyd Mayweather as arrogant and even hinted that his sense of reality might be compromised. According to Tyson, Floyd has developed an inflated sense of self that distances him from both humility and truth. Tyson appeared disturbed by Mayweather's need for constant validation and saw it as a sign of deeper personal disconnection rather than confidence.
How do you feel about Floyd, though?
Huh?
How do you feel about
Floyd?
Floyd?
Awesome fighter, great fighter. You know, he's a little too into himself. You know, he should be. I was the same way too, but you have to come to reality some way. You have to bring your head down to God. We're nothing to be fucking arrogant. You expect us to be ignorant and arrogant. Look where we came from.
That's why I asked the question earlier about you mentoring fighters, because I feel like Floyd looked at you growing up like every other fighter. And the persona and the lifestyle was like, growing up in the hood, we looked at it like, that's Mike Tyson. We see the cars, the jewelry, the flair. Like, you was a movie star. You was a hero.
I didn't see that.
Mike Tyson recently offered a sharp critique of Floyd Mayweather's financial behavior, noting how often the former champion is seen flaunting his wealth. Tyson remarked that while Mayweather may claim he's simply enjoying his money, the habit of constantly showcasing expensive possessions could hint at deeper financial instability. Tyson implied that this approach might be short-sighted, suggesting that relying solely on wealth for self-worth can be dangerous in the long run.
Hey Mike, how you doing, man? What's up? Hey, professional party thrower Adrian Broner goes across the country, gets charged $10,000 a pop. He used to be a boxer. Would you ever do that? Like, would you want to come to my house and cut the turkey?
Awesome.
How much would you charge to cut the turkey at my house on Thanksgiving?
30 cents.
30 cents? So you do it for free practically.
Yeah.
Adrian Broner, you think that's a good career for like a boxer trying to promote himself as a party thrower? 10 grand?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Hey, you have any advice for Mayweather? He's spending a lot of money right now.
Have a ball.
Enjoy it, huh? That's what you do.
Mike Tyson couldn't hide his amusement when speaking about one of Mayweather's most recent exhibition matches. Floyd took on a much larger cruiserweight, and the whole event came off as bizarre to Tyson. He questioned the logic behind entering the ring with someone significantly heavier, labeling the spectacle more of a performance than a legitimate competition. The mismatch, in Tyson's view, undermined the credibility of boxing and reduced it to a sideshow.
Champ. The exhibition. Facts. Super facts. It was yep, the exhibition.
This exhibition, I think Floyd should keep on trying. I don't think he should fight a fucking cruiserweight, you know, but I think he should continue fighting guys his weight. What the fuck is he doing, okay?
That was crazy. He did it. He got past it. Don't try it no more. And move on to something different. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Fight Pacquiao again or something. Keep in shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because that was a
He should have, you know, now that we're thinking now, he should have had Paul lose a lot of weight.
Veteran sports commentator Stephen A. Smith echoed similar concerns regarding Floyd Mayweather's recent opponents. Smith pointed out that these exhibition matches are doing little to preserve Mayweather's legacy. He emphasized that boxing is not a scripted movie where victory is guaranteed, and warned that facing underqualified challengers dilutes the significance of Mayweather's storied career. According to Smith, these fights serve entertainment more than athletic integrity.
He's one of the greatest boxers, if not the greatest boxer in history. He's absolutely sensational. But he retired years ago, and for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining. I like the one with Conor McGregor. Not so much the one with Logan Paul. I just see some of these things, and this is just my personal feeling. When you're that great and you're that elite, no one deserves, not just anyone deserves to be in a ring with you, even if you are retired, even if it is for exhibition purposes. This is not a movie. This is not Rocky III, where Rocky is going against Thunderbolt, who that was his name, or Hulk Hogan, okay? This is not that.
Mike Tyson took issue with Mayweather's frequent claims that he is the greatest of all time. When Floyd stated that legends like Muhammad Ali and even Tyson himself couldn't compare, Tyson felt it was more than disrespectful. It was delusional. He argued that greatness isn't defined by an undefeated record alone, but by the cultural impact and inspiration a fighter brings.
Is Ali the same fighter that got beat by a fighter with 7 fights? Every time boxing come on, you don't bring up Muhammad Ali name. You don't bring up Mike Tyson name. You always bring up Floyd Mayweather name.
What do you think about Floyd talking about greater than Ali?
He's very delusional. If he was anywhere near that realm of great Ali, he'd be able to take his kids to school by himself.
There you go.
Okay, he can't take his kid to school by himself. And he talking about he's great. Greatness is not guarding yourself from the people. Greatness is being accepted by the people. He can't take his kids alone to school by himself. He's a little scared man. He's a very small, scared man.
There you go. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Tyson also offered more personal advice, pointing out how constantly showing off wealth can backfire. He mentioned that while jealousy might fuel public criticism of Floyd, the more dangerous risk is isolating oneself. According to Tyson, if Mayweather continues to prioritize luxury over relationships, he may find himself surrounded by possessions but lacking real companionship.
What lessons do you think Pacquiao and Mayweather could learn from you in terms of life away from the ring?
Well, Floyd seems to be going through some stuff like me right now, you know, like realizing no one's his friend and everybody's probably, even though I even hate to say it, because maybe everybody's kind of a little jealous of him, you know, because he is Floyd Mayweather. I know these other guys got their money, but this guy is the champ of the world, you know. It's hard to compete with that. So he's pretty big on those scales as far as on the celebrity scale. So he's gonna realize what life is all about and what friends are all about, and realize that we only have a few of them. And sometimes they're the only ones we got. They may not be the ones we want, but they're the ones we have.
Despite his criticisms, Tyson did acknowledge Floyd Mayweather's impressive performance against Conor McGregor. He applauded Floyd's composure, control, and conditioning, noting that even after stepping away from professional boxing, Mayweather retained his sharp instincts. Floyd Mayweather has made it clear that he views his era as the pinnacle of boxing. He insists that the time of past legends has ended, and now it's about his undefeated record and his brand. However, this perspective hasn't been embraced by all, especially as younger fighters like Gervonta Davis begin to rise.
Well, I commend Tyson because he's one of the guys that paved the way for me to be where I'm at. You know, he's a legendary champion. And the only thing I have to say about Mike Tyson is everyone is always trying to judge Mike Tyson. He lived his life the way he wanted to live his life. No one can say what they would have done if they were in his shoes. Boxing will live on. You know, it's the Mayweather era. Not just myself, but the Mayweather brand. You know, I have my own style, and what I made cool about boxing is not taking punishment.
In a recent interview, Mike Tyson was asked whether he saw any similarities between himself and Mayweather. Tyson responded that while Floyd is skilled, he doesn't strike fear into his opponents the way Tyson once did. Tyson believed that intimidation plays a key role in boxing, and Floyd's style, while effective, lacks the raw menace that once defined Tyson's fights. It was a subtle yet firm dismissal of Floyd's ability to dominate psychologically.
Oh my God!
I got a question for you. One question. I am Mike Tyson in his prime versus Money Floyd Mayweather in his prime. Who would
Ooh,
win?
that's a great question.
I'm probably 50 pounds heavier than Floyd, so I don't think we'll ever fight. You know, we can never fight. We're two
Because you know
different
we
weight
can only
divisions.
see that in a video game. So I wanted,
Yeah.
I wanted to know, what's your thoughts? And
I'm
also,
too
when you
big
see
for him.
Floyd now, do he remind you of him? Do he remind you of yourself when you was
Yeah,
rocking?
to a certain degree, not totally, because he's not menacing. He's not a threat to the fact that he can hurt somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's not that guy. You know what I mean? He's not going to hurt somebody. He's not going to go into a store and drag somebody out the store or do something
you
ridiculous.
might have done
Yeah, he's
at
not going to do anything ridiculous like that. He's going to have somebody probably, but only because in a situation like that, when everybody loves you, you appear that everybody loves you. You don't know who really doesn't love you. You know, you're never going to have a chance to be at peace with yourself and to know who you really are, because there's too many people talking to you. Yes, from the outside to everybody, yes, doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good what's going on with him right now. You know, we could all be wrong, but from what we're seeing from the outside, things don't look good.
At a fiery press conference, Floyd Mayweather responded to criticism from Gervonta Davis by dismissing him as immature. When Tank accused Floyd of past manipulation and control, Floyd shrugged it off, suggesting that Davis was just acting out. He said if he were Davis's age, he might have done the same thing. The tone was defensive, revealing that the tensions between mentor and protege were far from resolved and had reached a public breaking point. Rather than addressing Davis's comments directly, Floyd escalated the situation by releasing a video aimed at undermining Tank's reputation. Many saw this as a personal attack disguised as a media move.
Tank vents out on social media. He's been through a lot, throughout his life. So, but I take my hat off to him. I'm proud of him. Saturday night we had a game plan, and a lot of times when he says certain things on social media, I say, he's to me he's still a kid, and when I was that age, I probably would have did the same thing. I didn't have a Floyd Mayweather to stand behind me and tell me, about what's right and what's wrong. He got the job done, but my hat off to Ryan Garcia, tough competitor, tough fighter, and the best man won.
The fallout between Davis and Mayweather has exposed troubling dynamics. Davis revealed that his time under Floyd's wing was marked by manipulation and dominance. He described being portrayed negatively and having his choices tightly controlled. The gifts and financial support, Davis said, weren't acts of generosity but tools of control. It painted a picture of a mentor more interested in maintaining power than nurturing talent. In addition to personal conflicts, Mayweather's name has been linked to financial controversies abroad. Rumors have surfaced claiming he failed to pay for high-end items in Dubai.
What set you off that you was like, I gotta do that?
A lot of people don't know that what Floyd do. He said.
So you feel like it was a sub, like he was subbing you, like, oh, like
he was going at me. He was going at me, and I knew for sure he was going at me. That's why I went at him. There's no reason for me to go at Floyd.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cause I feel like y'all got, I would say love hate, but it's been like the last interview you showed them love. This week it was whatever. But is that sometimes like, is it just like big bro, little bro seeing things different, or what is it to you?
No, Floyd don't never. He felt as though I'm at that point where as though I passed him. And I'm doing it at a young age. Like when Floyd was 29, you'll see, bro.
Yeah.
That deal that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, that's a part of this.
Deal. He don't know about that yet. But that's bigger than his deal.
Damn. Wow.
And I'm just releasing it.
It's exclusive. That's exclusive. Bigger than Floyd deal?
Yeah.
Ain't no cap, nigga. That's a lot of bread.
You'll see. It's gonna come out.
These claims suggest a troubling pattern, one where Floyd enjoys luxury but avoids responsibility. If true, this behavior could indicate larger issues with debt and reputation, threatening to damage his financial standing even further.
The Tank's come out with a bit of a mad statement, and he said that Floyd Mayweather has been held captive in Dubai because he owes people money and he can't pay them, or won't pay them, one or the other. Before I carry on, please hit that follow button if you haven't already. We're on a mission to get to 10k. Now for me, the idea that one of the richest men in the world cannot pay somebody in Dubai is a bit mad. However, Tank Davis has come out and said ask Floyd to go live right now, and he can't. Which is a fair point, and knowing how Mayweather's ego is, if it was possible for him to go live, he would be responding to this straight off the bat. Now that being said, it wasn't that long ago since we saw that video call between him and Bill Haney on the internet. So whether this is true or not, I do not know. It could just be Tank throwing shots at Floyd Mayweather, because I know that relationship has been a little bit ropey in the last few years. But you never know, especially with somebody like Mayweather, who sometimes comes across with a bit of a god complex. Maybe he's just tried to screw in the wrong people. But let me know what you guys think to this. Do you think that Floyd Mayweather has been held captive in Dubai? Or do you think this is just Tank Davis stirring up some stuff? Let me know in the comments. As always, a like, a favourite, save a share, all appreciated. Please hit that follow button if you haven't already. We're on a mission to get to 10k. Peace out.
Mayweather has also made remarks dismissing Davis's ability to become a pay-per-view star. These comments were seen as undermining and unnecessary, especially from someone who once claimed to be Davis's biggest supporter. By belittling Davis's potential in public, Mayweather once again revealed an insecurity about being overshadowed. It was a reminder that Mayweather might not be ready to let go of the spotlight.
And we got young fighters that's on the rise, that's under our banner. The ultimate goal is to find the next Floyd Mayweather that can break my records.
So is Gervonta Davis that guy?
I truly believe at this particular time, he's one of the guys that can go out there and become a pay-per-view star. I think to become a superstar in this era is a lot easier than the road I had to take over 20 years ago.
You had the hard road. It's
Yes.
the social media now. The access
Yes,
that people have to your videos and what you're doing. You can promote yourself how you want now.
Yes. So, you know, in today's time, you have celebrities and stars that I may never even heard of, but they're rich off of social media. So times have changed, and you have to be able to change with the times.
When did you feel like a star? Going back to yourself, when did you have that moment?
Me? Oh, man.
Like I played football, so I had a moment in my life where I thought, you know what, I know I'm top player, but when was the moment you felt that?
The moment that I felt it, from day one.
Davis didn't stay silent. He stated that Mayweather is afraid of being overtaken by the next generation. This mindset, according to Davis, reflects a lack of confidence rather than pride. By attempting to hold others down, Floyd exposes a need to remain above everyone, even those he helped build. It's a strategy that might win control in the short term, but risks long-term alienation and damage to his legacy.
Mayweather set you up against Pedraza. Did he really think Pedraza was going to beat you?
He didn't know how good I was and how I would have like handled the situation, so he just threw me out there.
Why do you think he's there?
He was hurt. He was hurt. I mean, not even hurt. He was just bad. First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. How the fuck would you say Terrence Crawford should fight? Benavidez. That don't make no fucking sense. He don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
He's next in line. Just so he's next in line.
Is there like
The last question, guys.
is there like a love-hate like
Yeah,
fighter?
yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest, but he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad. And
you're good, man.
And he cause I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, and it just I don't know.
In a move that shocked many, Mayweather reportedly supported Frank Martin in preparation to face Gervonta Davis. The idea that Floyd would aid an opponent of his former protege sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Mayweather's deep knowledge of Davis's style and habits could give Martin an unfair edge. The incident confirmed that Mayweather's falling out with Davis had reached a level of deep-rooted bitterness.
Young fighters, he loves to embrace guys, so what was being around talking to Floyd? Like, what has Floyd taught you about fighting? And has it made you a better fighter? Because he could tell me all day to do that shit he does. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what does being around a guy like Floyd do for you?
He could tell you, go run at 2 in the morning. You know, go do it when, cause 9 times out of 10, we know your opponent sleep at that time. So go run at 2 in the morning and go give yourself a mental edge, you know, like, cause you know you out there working every night at 2 in the morning running. That's a lot of the times your opponent sleep. You know, it could be little things that'll take you to the next level. You know, that Floyd, a person like Floyd, like if he tell you that, you gonna take a lot of heave to it, and it's gonna give you a different type of motivation when you doing it. He could show you something, you know, and it could be the same thing. You know, you might not be able to do it like him, but just it coming from him, it'll give you like a different type of like feel about yourself.
Hold up, limitless, niggas to me can't pin in it. I thought they hear the
From the beginning, Floyd Mayweather took credit for launching Gervonta Davis's career. However, as Davis grew, so did the friction. What began as mentorship soon turned into control. Mayweather's public statements often framed Davis's success as his own accomplishment. However, for Davis, the desire to be respected as an independent fighter clashed with Mayweather's controlling presence. Their relationship, once full of promise, became a cautionary tale about pride, ego, and the price of control.
Tank Davis, he was a young kid, came up to me when he was a kid, wanted an autograph. I signed his phone for him and told him, "You'll be world champion someday, and I'll be your promoter." Years later, he was working with some people from our team because our team is huge. We got guys in DC, Baltimore, Philly, New York, all around. He won a few fights. I think he was like 8 or 9-0. I told him, in under 24 months, you'll be world champion. Made the right moves, put him in the right position. He's a multi-millionaire now.
Absolutely.
He was a kid that couldn't even buy a bus ticket. Now he's a multi-millionaire.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.